Better than Lego. Better than Lego.
Matthew Johns is in position for a long-range shot. He's with it now, Matthew Johns. Here goes the kick.
Welcome to John's Family Podcast for this week. What week are we up to, Trish? What's this now?
15.
Holy cow. Mm-hmm. Goes
The
quick
year's
when it's
flying.
hard work. Funny joking. It's fun, isn't it? Hey, I tell you, look, we're going to talk about it later, but running into a lot of our podcast listeners up at Brisbane, wasn't I fantastic to run into them?
Yeah, it was. Everyone, there was just such a good vibe up there.
That's awesome.
Magic round.
That's awesome.
Favourite round of the year.
Feeling the pinch now. Still feeling the pinch. Anyway, that's the way it goes.
Well, mate, you did come straight off 75 hard.
We'll get to
It
that.
went 5 days strong.
We'll get to that. Let's go to our betters, our sons. Jack Johns, how you going, brother?
Good, Matthew. Good. I'm well.
All the
look
way
well.
sunny Newcastle.
Yeah, it's been beautiful weather here today. We're filming on a Wednesday. It's been great.
Beautiful. What about Cooper Johns? Cooper Johns, you look good, mate. We were having a discussion last night about your haircut. You're thinking about maybe going in a different direction. The mullet.
Oh, you
is
would? No
becoming-
way, mate.
Yeah.
Dylan's thinking about cutting his mullet off today. Actually,
Yeah.
He might come home in a couple of hours and it's gone.
Maybe it's a thing. Maybe all the mullets are thinking. Maybe they all think alike.
Did I tell you on Hot or Not
Demulleting?
3 weeks ago? I said the mullet was coming to an end.
Yeah, I just woke up yesterday and I was thinking, maybe it's time, eh? I go back to the typical short.
You've
back
shaved,
and sides.
I've noticed.
I have shaved.
Not a hair on your face.
Not a hair on my face.
That little cat weasel mustache has just jumped off and
The
got back to
whispery.
his burrow.
I actually didn't shave. The wind blew it off when I was
Did
out there.
Blew my hair off. But
Plates.
I'm
Hold on
thinking,
to that.
Coops, okay, I've got to look for you.
Okay.
Rightio. I'm thinking Liam Gallagher, 90s. You had it when you were sort of about 15, 16, long at the back, but wavy, sort of like a mop top. I think, mate, you've got the perfect hair for it.
Okay.
It'd suit you. You look like one of those Britpop stars.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, at the moment,
Fergal Sharkey.
when I do have that hair, it gets a little bit hard to control because my hair curls a lot.
Just tease it, baby.
I've always
You
seen
pull-
you with Anakin Skywalker hair.
Oh yeah. Okay. What? Oh yeah.
Is that like the strip down the back as well? Little ponytail?
Oh yeah. The little
no.
the Jedi.
No, the actor. Whatever his name is.
Oh, what's his name? Where's
Jack,
it
do you
gone?
know Anakin Skywalker's actor's name?
And where's he gone?
He's in Jumper A.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I tell you what we'll do. We'll
Thanks.
Where's he
muse
gone?
over it. We'll just place it into our subconscious. Then it will arrive.
You know what
sometime soon.
we should for the whole hour podcast see if we can remember it.
That would be
Do you reckon
that would be intriguing. Talking about Star Wars, Trish, we went to the movie. Went and saw Air last night. 'Cause I only said Star Wars because there's a Star Wars game coming out. Mark Hamill, he looked bad.
Did you really need to swear?
Well,
Mr. Johns?
it just shocked me that much. We're sitting at Warriewood Cinema, and all of a sudden this ad come on. I went, Jesus, like he looks like an ass. It's so bad. Poor old Mark Hamill. Harrison
Yeah.
Ford. The Harrison Fords held together pretty well. They're certainly doing better than old Princess Leia. She's brown bread. Of course,
Is
died
she?
a couple of years ago.
Jesus,
Yeah.
Cobber.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
Wonder how Chewbacca's going. The old mate, the old Wookiee. How
He's
holding
out
No,
there.
he's gone. He died as well.
Did he really?
Oh, he did
Yeah,
too.
he did. He did.
What about the bloke who was Yoda? Is he still kicking?
Don't know. The puppeteer. I don't know.
Well, I think, was it a person
Yeah,
in Yoda?
Yoda wasn't a puppeteer.
No,
He was
no,
a person.
no. Yoda was a. He had a what are they called again? Copper, one of your favourite people. What do they call people that manipulate puppets?
Oh,
A puppeteer.
puppet.
No.
Don't know.
No,
A
what
ventriloquist.
is it?
A
A ventriloquist.
ventriloquist. Well, I tell you, Alf the Alien. Remember that TV show, Alf?
Yeah.
The
He
guy
was
in
very
that
lovable.
was a rampant alco and drug addict. They reckon he was just on the bugle all the time when he was doing Alf. There's a movie out that Ben Stiller starred in it. It's called it's called Something to Midnight, and it's about that guy who starred as Alf the Alien.
So was Alf was there someone in the suit?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
him.
that
He
was a suit,
He
wasn't
was
it? Yeah.
he was a small little guy who used to just hammer the cocaine and the grog while he was shooting. Had all
Gee.
these quips and one-liners, but they reckon
What about-
the set was
what about
the worst
Aggro?
place. Jack, you know, mate, Aggro did breakfast radio for years and years and years. B105 in Brisbane, hilarious, quite hardcore. The real Aggro.
If you want to have a laugh, go on the YouTube clips.
Oh man, very good. Now, if you were
Hang on 1 minute.
sorry, Trish.
You started with we went to the movies last night. I don't think you even
Oh,
said what we went to see.
sorry,
and then
right.
you...
No, you said Air.
digressed.
You blokes put
Air.
it on Air. Heck, what a wonderful film.
It's good
It
because I was only going to accompany you just to be nice,
Yep.
not thinking I'd like it. I loved it.
It was fantastic.
There was some great shots in there. There was one shot in there with Matt Damon and another guy in a bar that was the most realistic shot I've ever witnessed.
I reckon that was just an add-on. I think they were just doing it.
And
just chatting
laughing
out
at the
underneath,
end, and
I
they've
think they just kept it.
Yeah, because Ben Affleck actually starred and directed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
maybe.
Oh, he
It's
directed
really
too.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it was his. He did. And you notice it hasn't gone to early release on
Anything.
like Foxtel and
Yeah.
all those things. It's because he struck a deal with the production company or production house, whatever you want to call it, and said, listen, if I'm going to release this movie, I want in the contract that basically there's going to be about 3 to 6 months in between the release.
So I want
He
it
wants
on
it to
the
be
big screen.
an old-fashioned movie.
Really?
Because it used to be when VHS movies come out, and of course Betamax as well. What had happened is that they would release a movie. You had to wait 6 to 9 months for it to come
Oh,
out.
maybe even
DVD.
longer.
Yeah.
Oh, no, video.
DVD.
Video.
What are you living in the future? Who are you, Anakin Skywalker? It was, mate. It was, and they were big clunky things. The VHS.
Have you watched it, Jacko? Yeah?
Yeah, me and Dill saw it
It's,
when it first came out about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was very good.
Well,
Yeah, I
another
loved it.
great movie in there that me and Jack have seen, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Very
was that
good.
the one that you cried in the other night, I heard?
Nah, he cried in King Kong.
Yeah, I know. Well,
It
he cried
is
in
very
this one
good.
too.
He
It's
thought
very
King
good.
Kong was a documentary.
Ask Jack if he cried.
I didn't cry, but it's been known to make grown men cry.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Bring grown men to their knees, which it did. It brought me to my knees, and I was weeping in the cinema.
Do I need to watch any of the others to watch that?
You need to.
Oh,
you can't just go and watch
yeah,
that.
I'm not doing it binge
It's because
on any of
I'm emotionally invested in the Marvel movies,
You are.
so I felt like I was writing the movie with them.
See, I cried in the trailer of the last Toy Story.
Really?
Yeah, because it brought back all memories of us taking you little boys, and when Woody was. How did Woody die? By the way, what happened?
Did Woody die?
Yeah.
Don't spoil it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
remember.
sorry, kids.
Terrible STD.
Oh, no.
If you were a soda pop, if you were a soda drink, which would you be and why, Trisha?
I'd be Passiona
Oh.
because it's hard to come by. It's pretty retro and it's really good for hangovers.
Gives you reflux too.
Just not.
Yeah, it puts weight on you.
Well,
It is good.
look,
I'm a
too-
Passiona fan.
It is.
Or as other people call it, Pasito.
Yeah.
I thought you were a fan.
It's a massive fan.
Okay, Jack, what did you have?
Wait
I
till I
went
get
with,
you a
I
little
went with
later.
Sunkissed.
Show you who's
Sun-
the boss.
Can you not
Yum.
interrupt Jack,
Yes.
please?
Sorry, guys.
Jack, go.
Yum.
I went with Sunkissed. It's a rip off of another prominent orange drink.
Yeah,
But it looks like it's healthier.
yeah, it does.
Because the history of that other sorry,
Oh,
whoops. The history of that other orange drink was the fact that during World War II, the Coca-Cola company said they would not be sending any of the Coca-Cola to Germany. So in the German Coca-Cola factory, whatever they had left, they mixed together, and Fanta was invented.
Yeah,
There you go.
I knew that.
What a dark history it
What a
is.
dark history. I had
Such a fun drink. It's such
Fanta.
dark.
I had a
Fanta.
mix of soda drinks. I had
Oh.
the shandy, the
That's
hand shandy, Peter Volandy, the lemonade with a little bit of beer in
yeah,
it.
but that's not a soft drink.
That's good.
I would count it
It's
as
a
a soft
form.
drink.
Nah.
That's a
I've
form.
gotten drunk on shandies
Yeah, you.
How old were you?
last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a fun drink the kids can enjoy. When I was 8, my grandmother at Curry used to give me 3/4 lemonade and just touch a beer in there.
Touch a beer.
Yeah, my mum
How old
used
were
to
you?
let me have some.
I bet I was about 8 or 9. It was all good. It was. Good,
I also
right?
had red
Didn't
wine
hurt me.
with lemonade.
That'd be disgusting.
It was quite nice.
Red wine. Yeah, that's right. That's a thing, huh?
It's the Italians, yeah.
It's weird.
I'm talking. I was very young. I don't like
Like
really.
3?
I don't know.
Coca-Cola and red wine is a thing. People have Coke in
Oh
their
no,
red wine.
no,
And
no, not
so-
for the Italians.
We were
Sorry.
saying the other day when we were in San Francisco, specifically down in North Beach, with a lot of the Italian alcos are down there. When La Rocca's Corner, they all drink beer with ice in it, to basically
Yeah.
to slow the alcohol content.
Yeah.
And anyway, different story.
What
I
about you?
remember in Japan there was was frozen beer, wasn't it? Like
Yeah,
a frozen slushy beer.
Slushy beer.
It wasn't very
That'd be
nice. I
disgusting.
wouldn't
It
recommend
was
it.
disgusting. Tried to scull it and got an ice cream headache.
Brain
And
freeze.
all the Japanese laughed. I went sarsaparilla. That's right, because it's an unusual drink.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is
like
Is it like
unusual.
root beer?
Nah, root beer is like
I think-
it's like ginger beer. I suppose it might be.
What is it?
It's like an
think it
Italian.
is.
It's an Italian, isn't it?
It was the biggest drink
Dunno.
in Queensland when I was growing up.
What flavour is it though?
Okay,
I've never had it.
it's like nothing you've ever tasted. It's so different. So he brought it to my.
It's like drinking deep heat, Trish.
Well, my
Oh.
something you don't know. My grandfather, your great grandfather, old Poppy Ken, he had a cordial factory.
Did he?
On the Gold Coast, and he used to bring down sarsaparilla, and we're like, "Wow, look at this! It sounds
So
such
you
a."
could have been Coca-Cola Amstel.
I could have
God
been, yes,
damn.
I could have been the man. I could have been Douglas Daft. Anyway, he was come down. He had this drink called sarsaparilla, and we went because it sounds like such a fun drink,
Sarsaparilla.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's actually like cough medicine. Yeah, not good. Boys, week.
Jack, why don't you kick us off? Because you've had quite an eventful week.
I had a fun week. I went to, I guess, are we talking about, I guess last week, because we did the podcast so early last week. So I did,
Yeah, that's exactly.
I went to Magic Round.
You came to Magic
Sorry,
Round with us.
I'm having a brain fart.
A brain
Yeah,
fart.
I went to Magic Round on the Thursday. Met up with Cobber, had a few beers with Cobber, which was,
It was awesome.
and
And what-
Trish joined us.
Thank you. I was
Trish
about to
joined us
say, what
later in
about
the evening.
Cobber
Well,
Red?
you later. You joined us later on.
Yes. When I arrived.
And we hung out. We had a fantastic Thursday night, and then backed it up again on the Friday during Cooper's game. We were having a
ball.
great time. I had to take his home. Both of you.
Well,
But we
yeah.
struggled to get out, didn't we?
See, first thing,
Get a
Do
cab
you want me
or
to
Uber.
explain it, Cobber? How we got home?
yeah, go on.
Yes, please.
All right, so what happened was I've never been to Suncorp other than playing. So I didn't realise just how packed it gets outside. Even, it was a 40 minutes, an hour after a game. After Cooper's game, I thought, okay, the crowd would have dissipated by now. So as I thought, we'll take Mum and Dad home. They probably needed to go home at that stage. This would be about 11 o'clock, and I took them out, and I didn't realise the streets would be all closed off. And there was still thousands of people just outside the stadium. So my plan to get an Uber or a cab sort of went to shit pretty quick. So we start walking in the direction of the main road, and we're trying to pretty much hail a cab where we could, but there was no cabs. Everything was taken.
Nothing there.
Cobber goes straight into the pretty much the middle of traffic.
Yep.
And
It's a gift.
hails over like one of those stretch Hummers.
Yeah.
I know, which I thought was like a hen's party. I'm like, oh my God.
They're standing back going, don't. And I said, g'day, guys. Guess
There was
who
a
it
disco
is?
light in it.
It did have a disco light in it.
They let you in.
And I just said, hey, would you mind, can you give us guys a lift back to the hotel? They went, jump in.
Yeah.
They were awesome.
3 young blokes from Canterbury. They were absolutely
Fantastic.
young men. And before they picked up us, they actually picked up another family because there was only the 3 guys, 3 young blokes in the car.
I do it quite often. But I tell you what, Jack, back to the Thursday night, great to catch up with a couple of, an old teammate of mine, Chris Radlinski, who came out from Wigan. And, mate, you kicked on with quite a posse.
Yeah, it was quite a unique posse actually. Obviously, Chris, and we ran into a lot of. Actually, we went to some bar and found there was a lot of, because obviously the media's up there at the moment. All the media were up there. We ran into all these presenters, your Dan Gananes, your Jimmy Grahams, all that lot. It was pretty funny actually.
Wow. Geez, you make it sound exciting, Jack.
well, I can't really.
You can't really remember it.
Yeah. Actually, but I do have a very interesting story. Though,
please, no.
That has come to my attention as of this afternoon. My great friend Jade Marfu listens to the Bloody Brilliant Beers podcast. They must be a sporting podcast, and he sent me a timestamp and said, just listen. And I gave it about a minute listen, and they talk about you, Cobber, upstairs at the Caxton Hotel. Apparently, you were orchestrating some defensive and attacking shape with 12 middle-aged men.
Yeah,
Cobber?
yeah, that's right.
Oh, dear.
It had been a couple of big days. We
That was
had a
a
few on
Saturday.
board. We walked upstairs, and they're all standing there, and they started talking football. And of course, I know more about football than any person on the planet. So I said, well, that's what I said to them, and they sort of laughed. And I said, I'm serious. So I orchestrated like a 6-man defensive side and a 6-man attack, and we just ran through attacking shapes. And I thought
There was no tackling, though.
no, we
Thank
just
God.
had to run into gaps and stuff like that. And I heard one of the guys goes, "What the f is he doing? How many has he had?"
Yeah, that's very.
Well, they talk about how they couldn't figure out if you were taking the piss or not. And then they just came to the conclusion that he was so into it and so invested that he must be taking the piss.
No, I was
Dead serious.
I was serious. We had Matty Gleeson there. Of course, Gleeso was a Wigator as well, and Glees was over. So I had him, and I was going right, and he ran to this gap, and Glees going, "Hold on a second, Matty. What about this guy moves like that?" And I said, "Mate, just don't second guess me. Right? I'm just go with the narrative." What about you, Cooper?
Not too much, other than us getting fairly outgunned on Friday night,
Getting
which was
rimmed.
absolutely rimmed. Thank you very much. But I will second that. You guys did look very blind. I remember looking up after the game, just as I was about to walk into the sheds. I thought I'll try to see if I can spot them. I knew you guys were up there in the corporates, with the corporate world, and I seen you three up there hanging over the balcony, screaming and waving. Which wasn't a great look after we just got flogged, but it did bring a little smile to my face, which was good.
Thank God.
If you want to know, so what happened, Trish and I went up pre-game to see Fletch and Hindy in the Caxton cage, right? Do you want me to
Yeah.
continue, Trish?
No, I don't. I don't want you to continue,
You
Matthew.
don't want me to?
No.
Well, let's say, yeah. Trish
Okay.
was-
We'll leave it there. Anything else from your week?
Nah, not too much. What about you guys?
Mate, I had the best time at Lefty's.
Lefty Saloon.
I love that
on Caxton
place.
Street.
I
People can
love
go up there.
that
It's a
place.
great place.
We met some good people from Newcastle. Actually, met a lot of people. The two fellas, night supporters
It was awesome. And of course, I went off my
from
75
Maitland
hard.
and Toronto.
It was my drink. First
Oh my
drink off
God.
75 hard. What we did when we were up there, I went on the. We're going to talk about this later, but it sort of fits in. On the Wednesday, I went up there to get ahead of everybody else. I had to interview Fatboy Slim up there, who was fantastic. Gav's listened to the interview. It comes out on Monday. He's just awesome, Norman.
Did you
Cook.
tell Gav that Fat Boy called you the next day?
No. Let's not go there.
Yeah.
No.
That sounds like it's not true, eh?
No, it's true.
No. Let's not-
Dad was talking about it over dinner last
Yeah,
night,
Dad,
Brad.
and I
let's
said,
not go.
wow, that was really nice. He must have really connected with you. That's cool. I said, so he got your number. I said, so have you got his number? And you said,
I said, no, he rang me on no caller ID.
so he liked you, but he didn't like you.
Maybe it wasn't even him.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
actually starting.
Dad,
to,
it's-
wait, guys. I'm actually starting to piece it together.
Uh-oh.
I've been informed that I think someone was taking the piss out of me.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
It was
That's
me.
okay. It could have been. Once we listen to the interview and I hear his voice again, I'll know if it was someone just taking advantage of me unfairly. But at the time, I was fairly happy. I hung up the phone and went, well, there you go. Just getting a phone call. And I was proud as punch. I've learnt later on that it could have been someone involved in my workplace
Right.
taking the piss.
Yeah.
But we'll know. I'll find out. But when I was up there, I bid farewell to Norman Cook, Fatboy Slim, and went and had my first beer at the QT Hotel in up there up at James Street in Fortitude Valley, and it went down very, very well. But after about 4 beers, I went, I might go and see Cooper. I walked into the hotel, and Coop's like, mate, how many have you had? And I
Did he look quite blind?
Yeah, so you could just he was slurring. I remember Jake Chorovic. You must have seen Jake Chorovic as you're walking in, because Jake came up to me the next morning and goes, "Oh, I seen your dad last night." And I go, "Oh yeah, I seen him too. He come to see us." And he goes, "Yeah, he was pretty pissed, eh?" And I kept asking him, "Are you drunk, Matty?" And he kept saying, "Nah, I'm doing 75 hard." And
Well, there
Jake was
you
like,
go.
"Oh, okay, it looks like you're breaking 75 hard."
Yeah. Well, you're not doing it well.
I'll say this: it was like being. I said this one. It's like being 15. That sounds bad, but it was like being 15 again. You have your on the second beer, and I'm going, holy dooly, I'm getting a buzz.
Yeah.
Next morning though, I reckon I had half a dozen beers, was wobbling, woke up the next day like I'd had 80. It was like the most horrendous hangover that I remember. I've had some beauties, but it's just a lesson that 75 hard is so overrated.
Yeah.
It actually was just, people don't do it. Honestly, don't do it.
Poor old Jack, at a hotel, didn't the guy from downstairs say to you, "Oh, your brother's waiting for you downstairs"?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. One of the lady at the hotel just come out and Jack buzzed me and said, because he had to get a key to get up to the third floor. She goes, "Oh yeah, your brother's down the bottom waiting." And I went, "Ha ha ha!
That's my son.
Thank you very much.
That's my seed.
It's my son." Yes.
We got asked that when we were in New York. What was that 2014 cover?
Yes, we did. Yes, remember we got sussed out at the airport, and you got checked out because the guy grabbed me and said, "Oh, are you friends?" And I said, "No, it's my son." And they looked at each other quite weird, and they went and searched Jack. They thought that Jack was like a drug mule.
What they actually did was they thought it was a case of human trafficking. They took me
that's
behind.
what, do you know
They took me
what?
behind closed doors, and they were like, "Mate, is this man really your father?" I said, "No." He actually picked me up at from a cab rank.
Yeah, do you know what? It probably is. That's what I found this time all through the States when we were there early in the year. In the bathrooms, there's all these signage for
Human trafficking.
ask for assistance and etc.
It's a big thing.
Still
a big thing.
It must be quite huge in America.
Talking about big things, Brad Cox, mate.
What a great guy.
What a champion. Played on the Sunday night after the show, live, and then we caught up afterwards to have a beer with him. What an absolute champion.
Yeah, he is.
He's got the new song out, new album. He's got the new song, Acres. Man, he is something. What if he is
personality.
He personifies country music.
Yeah.
Yeah, the character, the
just
way he holds himself.
The only thing I didn't get was that colourful earring hanging from his ear.
Yeah.
It's just fashion.
Is it? Has
Yeah.
it come back?
No, it
In
hasn't.
country?
But I think he's maybe stuck in a different age, maybe, Brad Cox.
Brad. Hey,
Yeah.
you know what I did mention to him? I said, "Oh, Brad, did you hear my country music rendition the other week?" He said, "No, I haven't listened for a while." I went, "Listen to
You
it."
said, don't, please.
Yeah. I said to him, whatever you do, don't do it. It actually could be contagious. It might ruin your career. But Stanley's Chinese restaurant, people go up there,
yum.
looked after us up there. Of course, Gordon, we said this on the Sunday night show, Gordon being Gordon. I walked in, and me being me from Cessnock, he went, "What do you reckon, Matty? What do you have something to eat?" And I said, "Oh, they got prawn toast." It's sort of upmarket. And they all started laughing. And the owner came over and goes, "You want prawn toast? Give me 15 minutes." And came back with the
it's
most
delicious.
amazing prawn toast.
Really?
It was very good.
It
So
was good.
Stanley's Chinese restaurant up in Brisbane, go there. But just want to
And
mate,
Howard Smith Wharf.
and just a big
Beautiful
thank you, mate, to all the people of Queensland up there, people of Brisbane who were so nice to us, Trish.
Oh, everyone. Yeah.
So nice.
Queenslanders are really nice.
It's a great city.
Actually,
If I moved to another city now, I've always said Melbourne. I'm saying no. I would move to Brisbane.
I love Brisbane, but I love Queensland.
As it
All
gets
my
closer to the Olympics, can you
North
imagine
people
how
make
good
me happy.
it's going to transform?
Oh, imagine. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other shout outs you guys or plugs you guys want to give?
Let me
Anyone
just have a
else?
little
Stanley's Chinese restaurant, everyone.
We had a
Shout out to Mantis. You know who you are.
Praying mantis. Are we on Cooper's Nasty Review now?
Let's do it before we take a break. Do it, baby.
All right. I had a bit of feedback after the game on the weekend, as you can imagine. Yeah.
I will say this. I sometimes will chip you or I'll let you know that I didn't think you played well. I'll say this, mate. You know, there's some things you can't control. I actually thought you were good. I thought you were strong.
Thanks,
Anyway,
Dad.
Continue.
Well, one of our listeners decided to, obviously didn't think the same as you. He decided to message me and he said, "No need to move back in with your mum and dad." He actually said, "Mummy and daddy. Looks like Tom Flegler now offers ironing and folding services."
That's not bad.
I don't know what that. I don't understand.
Because he folded me.
Cooper was folded.
Oh,
Yeah, Mum might not actually remember the game.
I did. I saw that.
Yeah. Thanks, Trish.
I think I said to Gordy at the time, he takes after me because you bounce straight back up.
Trish had a steak before the game and
Okay.
a mushroom sauce. So
Oh, that sounds delicious.
there was magic. I'm talking about the tackle.
Yeah, and then another little one, a little story. I was at the junior footy the other day, and a dad and a son came up to me, And the dad grabbed me and he said, "Mate, my son's always wanted to ask you, what's your favourite position to play?" And me being the fun guy I am, I said, "Oh, missionary," just as a little joke. "What's yours?" And thinking the son didn't hear, the son was sort of dazed off, and the son looked back and he said to his dad, "What's missionary, Dad?" And the son, and the dad, to his credit, looked down at his seed and he said, "Son, soon you'll find out soon enough," which I thought was quite clever from that old man.
Yes, that's right. Although I was talking to the guy afterwards, his favourite is doggy. But it's okay. It's not that type of doggy. We'll take a break and we'll take a lightning quick break and we're back with Jack's 10 to 1. We're just about to come back on the show. Where are you off to, Trish?
I just got to check that I haven't left dinner on and burned it. Which I do.
Yeah, right. We're back, people. Trisha's...
Should we just start Jack's 10 to 1?
Trisha's gone up just to check if she's left the wok on. Gotta hope she has. And gotta hope it's just completely burnt so we can go out and have some real food tonight.
Yeah, that would actually be really nice. Because last night's meal, we had steak. And honestly, the cow's heart was still beating.
It was absolutely horrendous. She was bragging, going, "Oh, these steaks cost me this, cost me that." Honestly, it was chewy. I don't think it was steak. I think it was yak.
Yeah, I think she thought because they're expensive that they're going to cook themselves. No, Trish, please don't sear them a minute each side. At least cook them half through the middle.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
well, yeah, Trish, you're ready. We'll be back on in a second. You ready? You tell me when you're ready to go, buddy. Yeah, Welcome back to the Johns Family Podcast, and it's time for Jack's 10 to 1. What do you got today, baby?
Hey, mate, I've got a suggestion from Chateau Johns this week to do top 10 movie soundtracks.
Oh, brilliant! Who comes up with this?
That's craziness.
The bloke who Tom Flegler folded and ironed.
Let's not give Tom Flegler any more airtime, please.
Nothing like a couple of Italian internationals just colliding.
He's not Italian.
He is.
No, he's not.
Is he?
Never mind.
Who'd you play again?
Thomas Flegler.
Broncos.
If he is Italian, he's the most unlikely looking Italian I've ever seen. Yeah, Trish, they played the Broncos.
Magic round in Brisbane on a Friday night. Wonder
It's
who played.
Magic.
All right, so 10 to 1, I've gone movie soundtracks, Magic Girl. Number 10, I've gone with the OG Top Gun.
Oh.
Well, only number 10.
Yeah. What's your favourite song off that?
Danger Zone.
Oh, you're a Kenny Loggins man.
I think
Whoa.
Kenny. Yeah.
Speak.
Number 9, I've gone 8 Mile with obviously Eminem riddled
Brilliant.
soundtrack.
Word.
Plays himself in it, which is good.
Thanks. Number 8, I've gone Forrest Gump.
Oh,
Yeah, great one.
One of the great soundtracks.
What's some of the soundtracks in there?
Are You Going to San Francisco?
Four Tops.
Yeah. Fortunate Son.
Yeah, thank you. That was that.
Sam Cooke. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Just
yeah.
goes on
It's
and
awesome.
on and on.
Number 7, I've gone with Goodfellas.
Oh.
Which might be a little bit of a surprise.
That's
I
a
like
surprise.
Goodfellas soundtrack.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
what that-
thought it's got Rolling Stones' "Gimme Shelter."
Oh.
It's got Cream on it. You know the band Cream.
Yeah, I know Cream.
It actually. What's the song? "Sunshine of Your Love."
Oh,
Song
yeah,
that- You
yeah.
know the easy song to play on guitar. Doing it.
Yeah.
That's interesting, Jack.
There's a-
Yeah, because like the Stones Give Me Shelter. Of course, Martin Scorsese did that documentary on the concert, Disney, called Shine a Light on the Rolling Stones. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't actually seen that.
Maybe next week. Okay.
Well, he actually talks. I've seen an interview recently where they asked him. One of his producers or his cameraman actually tells a story where he, as he's writing and he's going through the script, throughout filming, he was just like looking at the scripts, and when they're doing scenes, he told one of the staff writers next to him to write out of nowhere when De Niro was doing the scene to write Cream on the script. And he goes, "Oh, what does that have to do with anything?" He goes, just write it down, just write it down. So he had that in his head that he was going to put that song
was
in
watching.
that bit.
Interesting.
Nice.
Number 6, I've gone with This Is Spinal Tap.
One of, I reckon, the best mockumentary of all time.
What movie?
It is
what
one of the-
is that?
You haven't seen This Is Spinal
No.
Tap? Okay, the guy
Let's not explain it now.
Yeah, let's not
Okay,
go into depth.
Harry Shearer.
but
what's it
just put
about?
it on your list to watch.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell me the whole. Just who's it about? That's all I wanted to know.
It's a mockumentary about like a heavy metal sort of a metal band, and from Birmingham. It's sort of
That's
based
enough.
loosely off Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
But it's very funny.
Thanks.
Back to you, Jack.
Rock and roll.
Number 5, we're going with Guardians of the Galaxy, Coop Dog.
Oh, some of the greatest soundtracks in those movies.
Oh,
it?
don't cry, mate. Okay.
I only cried in 3. Thank you.
Number 4, I've gone with Boogie Nights.
Nice.
Awesome.
Dad loves that one.
Yeah,
Love it.
it's a great movie. Then I've gone with Grease.
Oh,
I got
I think it speaks for
chills.
itself.
They're
yeah. I'm
multiplying.
hoping I've picked number 1.
Have you written it down already?
Do you want me to write it?
Well, number 2 is Saturday Night Fever.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Awesome.
Trish, what do you think's number 1?
Footloose.
No.
Jack, that's too obvious. Jack doesn't pick the obvious ones. You got to know your son.
Yeah.
He's left of centre.
Cobber, what do you think number 1 is?
Oh, guys, every time I go to sort of elaborate, you all shut me down. Coop, you have a think.
I'm going to say Iron Man.
No, I went with Pulp Fiction.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, actually.
Well played, mate.
Yeah,
I
very
would have
well
thought
played.
you would have. Iron Man does have a great soundtrack, all the AC/DC through it.
Yeah.
Just-
But I've gone with Pulp Fiction, Cooper,
I
which
love
is
it.
a shout out to my man, the Gimp, and Zed.
Oh, Zed's dead, baby. Zed's a bad guy. Okay, now pop culture this week. Just firstly, the passing of the late Gordon Lightfoot, talking about a great musician. He was the Canadian Bob Dylan, died at 84 this week. Big turnout. He had songs like Sundown, If You Could Read My Mind, The Edmund Fitzgerald. Incredible artist.
It's not a bad name, is it?
It's very good.
Gordon
Yeah, it's
Lightfoot.
very
Gordon,
good.
it's awesome.
Gordon Lightfoot. He would have been a great winger.
Yeah, that's it. Very light.
R.I.P.
feed. Yeah, and big thank you for all the feedback we've had on the Good Chat interviews. Waleed Ali and Stan Grant.
Yeah, loads.
Had great feedback on it.
They're both really. I don't often listen to you, but I listen to both of them. They're really good. Stan is so smart, and he's so world politically and socially smart. I can't believe that our government hasn't tapped into him
He's awesome.
as some form
And
of consultant.
He's such a great guy.
I quite liked on the Waleed one where he talked about how his mother, she came to Australia and taught English.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taught English and Australian history.
Yeah.
That's and Waleed, he is like it's one of those. While we were talking about social media, and he had numerous reasons. He goes, I believe it's one of the worst inventions humans have made in the last 50 years, and he explained why. And he just said it's just so impersonal, and he said people don't share opinion. He said what they do is they perform, and he was explaining certain things about it. And he said the other thing about it, he goes, Matty, when you meet someone and you have a certain opinion about them, and then you meet them and you just go, oh, wow, and you see the human side. And I've got to say, with the Waleed, I liked Waleed on the thing, but he's a guy that people look at sometimes and thinks divisive. As a person, when you meet him, he's fantastic.
Yeah. I got that from it too, and that's been some of the feedback.
I used to see him in Melbourne a lot, actually.
Yeah, mate,
Cafes.
he's right
He's a
across his
Storm,
rugby league.
Storm fan.
Yeah, he's cheeky bastard. We're talking about who should be the New South Wales number 6. He said, who should be the 5'8"? And I said, Nico. I think Nico's done enough and he deserves his chance. He goes, no, I disagree. I go with Jerome. I said, hey, listen, you just fucking worry about current affairs, righto, and I'll do all the expert stuff,
What
or
do you
you'll be seriously clipped.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
It's a bit rough.
Robert De Niro's father again,
I know.
79 years of age.
And he's just had his 7th child.
Is
Unbelievable.
it two different women?
Oh, I dare say there's a number
Oh,
of
there's a number
different
because he had an
women.
ugly divorce recently. Cost him a lot of money. That's why they reckon he's in a lot of shit movies at the moment.
Just-
This current woman, she's a martial arts expert.
Is she?
Yeah. They went out recently and the guy was sort of saying something. He went, you talking to her? You talking to her?
Did you just make that up?
Yeah. But
It-
she is a
it
martial
wasn't worth it.
she's a martial arts
Oh, okay.
expert.
All right. I was like, oh.
You talking to her? Are you talking to her?
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense. I understand the reference, but it doesn't really make sense. In this.
think
Yeah,
about
but
it.
like if you're 79 and you're having a baby, like
Impotent?
how old are you going to see that baby grow to?
Well, obviously,
realistically.
well, modern medicine. You
That
just
was a
don't know.
complicated way of explaining how old, you know.
How long's you got to live? Yeah. I was trying to be polite.
I think he's a pretty healthy guy.
Yeah, but age is age.
Hasn't come out with what the baby boy's going to be called, but the name of his other 6 children, Drina, Raphael, Elliot, Helen, Aaron, and Julian. I tip my hat to him. They're quite normal names.
What was the first one?
Drina is a bit, but I don't know the origins of that name.
Raphael is.
But they're all
Raphael's beautiful.
But they're all very normal names, as opposed to some people, celebrities, who name their kids.
Leaf.
And, yeah, very, very strange. You just go, guys, they've got to go to school.
Well, he's
Like,
a bit
you
of an
don't-
old school guy, isn't he? I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
imagine he'd be too left field with his stuff.
Well, given that
he
he's
sort of left-
79.
His father was a very famous artist,
Really?
De Niro's father.
Was he?
Yeah. Right, time for Cooper's quiz.
Yes, Cooper's quiz this week. I can't take all the credit for it because our little man here, Gav, he's actually just tipped me into a little goldie. We're going to put Cooper's quiz on ice, and what it's going to be today is it's going to be, nature's a crazy place. Nature is
It's unpredictable.
It's unpredictable and it's ever changing. So today we're going to do something called Cooper's Animal Planet, which is a bit of a Cooper's Animal Planet quiz for you guys. Based on obviously our good friend Sir David Attenborough, who is quite a good listener of the podcast as well.
Loves it. Shout out.
Yeah, who loves it. So
Rest in peace, mate.
basically, what we're going to do is we're going to have some fact or cap questions. You guys are going to vote whether you think it's fact or cap, and then we got maybe a little teaser, hook line teaser in there for you. All right.
go.
So just listen. The loudest animal in the world is 2 centimeters long. The pistol shrimp is capable of snapping its claw shut so rapidly that it creates a bubble which collapses to produce a sonic blast louder than a Concorde's sonic boom. Fact or cap?
Bullshit.
Fact.
Dad?
I'll say fact.
It is fact.
That is.
The
Well, that's
loudest
just
creature
weird.
in all the world.
That's awesome. I'd
Thank
love
you.
to see one of those little dudes go off.
Yeah, where does
don't
one
know.
find one of these?
I don't know. The pistol shrimp, Pistol Pete Maravich. Number 2, the female ferret dies if they do not mate once they go on heat. Similar to Big M.
I'll
over
say
there.
fact.
Trish,
I'm going to say no.
Jack.
I'm gonna say I'm going with cop. I'm gonna go fact.
It is fact.
Yeah.
It is fact. The female ferret.
I'm none from 2.
So once it gets on heat, find that little thing of partner.
You ever been bit by a ferret, by the way?
I've never seen a ferret.
You're joking.
Actually, yes, you have, Coop. We've got a photo of it was a bloke many years ago
On the
walking
beach.
on Collaroy Beach.
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
Have I?
She was. I think it was a woman actually. She had it on a leash.
She
It was
did.
Quite a sad.
She
photo.
literally did. And we went and took photos because
Maybe
it was like bizarre.
maybe it was on a leach because it was on heat and it was horny and it was
Oh.
going to die.
She was just trying to find a mate.
Well, why?
Then
Yeah.
someone better put a leash on you then.
Yeah. Trying to find a mate for the ferret. Shout out to Fluky.
Number 3. Okay. Dolphins use toxic pufferfish to get high. Fact or cap? They are very
I'll
intelligent.
say fact.
No. I'll say
you're
no.
Very.
Negative today? I think something's
I'm
got to be
gonna-
no.
I'm gonna go fact. I reckon those dolphins are little junkies.
Wow. Fact. You guys have got all 3. Majority rules have got all 3.
So
Trish has
really?
got everything. Yeah. They use pufferfish, toxic ones, obviously in small doses. They don't want to overdose.
And
And they use it to get a high.
Isn't it funny? Intelligent creatures always find something
To
to
get
get
high
high
on.
or escape, to escape themselves for a while.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've seen a huddle of rats smoking crack together.
Wow. Oh, can you hear that? Sorry, bonus round question, guys.
Oh.
All right, this is going to be... Do you hear that? This is a one out there. What is the world's deadliest animal based on its kill rate?
Did you just say animal?
Edible.
Ed-
Shout out
And
to Trish.
animal?
animal. There's so many questions. There's so many words going through my head. What is the the deadliest animal based on its kill rate? Everyone submit an answer.
Oh, I actually know this.
Dad, will you
Well,
go
Dad did it.
first?
Can I go first?
Yeah, you
No,
go
I would
first.
like Dad so that everybody submit an answer. I don't want you to give it away if you know it.
Well, I think I know it.
Just be
On a
quiet.
kill rate, I will say a hippopotamus.
Jack?
Yeah.
Well, I'd just like to say that's what I was going to say.
Is it any animal? It could be even
Any animal.
insects.
Could be insects. Any
was-
animal.
I'm going to go with the mosquito.
Okay.
Hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus. Jack is right. It's actually the mosquito.
No way.
Malaria.
I did not
thought
know
we'd
that.
been
I was
told
going to go
that
with the
before.
hippo as well.
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
something like 775,000 people a year
Wow.
due to diseases and all sorts of things.
Spreading of diseases rather than,
They
I
take the blood
suppose.
from one person, they pass it to another.
Yeah.
There you go.
Give and
I
take.
suppose it's working smarter, not harder.
It is.
It is.
Can you kill, right?
Those old suckers, eh?
Oh,
Hakuna
literally.
Matata.
Hakuna.
Okay, 2 more Factor Cat ones to
Okay.
get them all correct. Flamingos have to eat with their heads upside down. Factor Cat.
Yes, I think I've seen them do that.
I'll say cap. I think it's false.
Yeah, cap.
It is fact.
Oh,
I've seen them do that. Remember when we were in Cuba?
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
There are
Did we
flamingos
see
in Cuba?
flamingos
Yeah, at
there?
that we went and visited that big hotel. Yeah, and they had
Oh,
flamingos
yeah.
wandering around.
Oh, that's right. It was Fidel Castro's old palace.
Another random fact: flamingos are actually born grey, and what they eat in their diet it has like a toxin in it that turns their feathers pink.
Pink.
You are just a
Incredible.
walking encyclopedia.
Look at me.
See, in the Amazon, dolphins are pink. You know that?
Oh, we've seen that.
Really?
Might be the similar-
They almost
yeah.
look a little albino.
Yeah. Or maybe an albino.
Well,
Yeah. Sorry, Coop, any left?
Yeah, we got one more here. This is the last one. Okay. Sorry, guys. Roosters prevent themselves from going deaf due to their own loud crowing by tilting their heads back when they crow, which covers their ear canal completely, serving as built-in earplugs.
fact.
You think it's fact?
Cap.
Jack?
Cap, they use headphones.
Geez, you're on fire. No, it's actually fact.
Yeah,
it's
they do
fact.
it. Yeah.
We had a rooster.
We have. Oh,
Did we?
Did ya?
Oh, no, we did when I grew up. In that life before you were ever around, Cooper.
What? You had a
I
life?
know, exactly. I grew up with chickens and a rooster.
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. I used to chase the chickens around the yard. If you chase a chicken,
That's normal.
they freeze in shock and they freeze, and then you can stop and pick them up and pat them.
I think there's a similar thing. They freeze if you run your hand down their back.
Yes.
Have you seen that? And then they just,
Hypnotizes them.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it does.
What, from the behind?
Yep. Hypnotizes it relaxes.
Doesn't seem to make any sense.
Because we had a chicken pen as well, and
How many chickens you
we
have?
had Frank the rooster. He was this old rooster. Dad went down there once to feed the chickens. Dad used to feed the chickens sometimes 3 times a day, but he went down to feed the chickens, and Frank bit him. So
Sorry?
we come back from indoor soccer one day, and the old man's blind, and he's
Oh,
cooked.
no.
He's knocked off Frank, and we're cooking Frank.
You might want to
Honestly,
choose
it was
your
like
words a little more carefully.
well, yeah, sorry. Dad, also kept female ferrets as well. But he killed, he got Frank, and we had him in the oven. And
Oh,
honestly,
no.
it was like trying to bite through cement.
So no tears shed for Frank.
No, Frank.
Still tried to eat
Frank
him.
was an acquired taste. Unfortunately, we couldn't get through the skin.
Oh, dear.
But now we're going to go to our second break, and when we come back, we're going to wrap the show up with your feedback. Welcome back to the show. Look, just want to let all good people know at Peter that, look, Frank died a long-lasting life, and he was much loved in the family. Right, Trish, what's the feedback this
Okay,
week, babe?
Zeusy tells me, remember you wanted some tips on Algeria and Constantine?
Yep.
Yeah, his brother lives there.
Does he?
Yeah, and he loves it. He and his family, markets, the travel, the history. However, they do have to travel with security.
Right, okay.
He's a diplomat. So I don't
Oh,
know
is it-
whether
well,
it's
he's-
because he's... Yeah, but I don't know whether it's because he's a diplomat. He didn't stipulate, or because...
He's a Western
They're travelling
diplomat.
around.
Or,
What
well,
did
look,
you say-
I think diplomats probably travel everywhere with security. to be fair.
Potentially. Yeah, I know, but...
What was his name again?
Zeusy.
Susie.
Oh, that was his Insta name. Why? What do you
Yeah,
ask?
maybe Zeusy, if you could send Trish some, maybe from the brother, some photos of Constantine.
Zeusy,
I'd
there you
love
go.
That. I'd love that.
Okay, Jacko, a listener pointed out for you, one of your album covers that you missed out on last week was the Prodigy album, The Day of the Lamb, that has a giant crab on the cover.
Didn't miss that.
Oh, you didn't mean
He just didn't include it.
Okay, all right. And we
Sorry,
need to...
what was his name?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Zeusy.
We need to send Cassie a very big thank you. She saw Koopy up in Brisbane and made us all some
Wristbands.
bracelets. Yeah, I've got a Manly and a Knights little bracelet there, which I really like. You've got a Knights one, Jacko. Cooper, you've got a,
I got a Manly
one. Matt got orange chocolates.
Yeah.
Spoiled.
I saw
She's
her.
very sweet.
She's very sweet.
Yeah, you did get a photo with
I did.
Cassie.
She's very, very sweet.
Lovely girl. And I know we're not doing tips, but I'm going to give you a couple anyway. Because I think people should follow How to Save a Life AU on Insta. They give lots of first aid tips and baby first aid, particularly like what to do when baby hits their head, things like that. Extremely useful. And the other tip I'd like to give you, just because I'm kind, always steal your sewing kit from your hotel.
Yeah.
Make sure they're the good ones that are already pre-threaded. You'll never have to thread a needle in your life.
Yeah.
And you've got to
And you know what
do those
else?
running repairs.
While we're on that,
Yes.
still, if you need a pillowcases or anything, steal them from the hotel.
Really? You
know
think
what I
they'll notice that?
I don't think they'll charge you though.
Okay,
Hey,
that's
what-
all we got time for.
Why don't you take us out with a song today? Have you thought about that?
Okay, well, Brad Cox is back on listening, so I'll do my best. I'm going to finish with a bit of a song to pay tribute to the great Gordon Lightfoot. So, guys, if you wouldn't mind, just give me a little bit of space. This is serious. We're talking about a bloke who's just passed away. If you could read my love, what a chance my tongue could tell. Like a paperback novel, of the trees from the wishing
The boys are
well.
dying over there.
Rest in peace, old mate.
What a tale my thoughts could tell, just like an old